Hi, I'm Candy the oldest.
I'm your boy Mark the Middle.
And Marjorie the youngest. And you are watching DDS, Them Dolcy Siblings
Whoop
podcast.
whoop.
Welcome
Yeah. What's
Welcome,
back.
going
welcome,
on, guys?
welcome.
So excited
Yes.
for everybody to be here for watching us. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I had a frog in my throat.
Oh,
See,
not
Um,
ribbit. But
but
welcome
yeah,
back. If
that
this
up.
is your first time watching,
if it is,
welcome.
welcome
Welcome.
to the
And if you are,
foolishness that is the Dolcy siblings.
I mean, just a
I
little bit.
I don't like the foolishness. I'm not foolishness.
You
Y'all
are.
might be. I'm
Ooh,
not.
ooh.
You are.
I'm not
But
You
yeah,
are.
claiming it. But welcome.
She
Hey,
said she's
make
not
sure
claiming
you
it.
welcome.
like, subscribe, leave a comment on this
Please.
Listen,
episode.
people been coming up to us. I got my friends hitting me up. People say, "Yo, we love the podcast. We watching it or whatever." Say, you guys are so funny. Y'all crazy, but y'all not liking and y'all not subscribing. So I need y'all
Correct.
to like and subscribe.
Please, like we're getting so many views. We're getting hundreds of views, even thousands, up in the thousands, for some of our posts. But y'all not liking. What's
No
going
engagement. What we
on?
gotta
Oh,
do?
hit the
What we
double
gotta,
tap.
what we gotta do?
Yeah. What
Double
we
tap.
What we gotta do?
correct. Listen. Tell us
Please.
what we gotta do. Just
Come on,
like
man.
it costs you
I mean,
nothing. In case you didn't know,
it don't cost us
liking is
anything.
free.
It's
It
for
don't
Free.
cost
free.
you anything. Okay.
Nothing.
That's our
And
Free
email.
99.
leaving a comment is free as well. And if you don't know
Come
what to
on.
say, just drop a laughing emoji for us.
That's it.
Just drop it.
Just
Come on
drop
now.
it.
Or if you think the podcast is lit, just drop a fire emoji for us. That's
And
it.
if you think we suck, let us know that too.
Nah.
Put in ellipses. Put in ellipses. Dot dot
Put it
dot.
in ellipses. You know what I mean?
At
Go in the
least we can
comments
get
and
the
be like,
engagement.
man, I need y'all not that funny, man. Y'all could type that in the comment. Let us know.
Yeah, talk
And
about how Mark not that funny. Let us
oh,
know. I mean, we already know,
Oh,
but put your feelings in the
don't matter to
comments.
me. It don't
Because
hurt my
Mark talking about
feelings.
somebody not funny and they might not like anybody. The only person they might not like.
It was you.
oh,
Everybody like me.
oh. What's really going
Everybody
on?
like me. Everybody like me.
Everybody like Mark.
If you don't got a problem with me, if you don't like me, that means there's something wrong with you.
Oh,
Wow.
That's
So
how I
are you
see it.
saying there's something wrong with our viewers because they're not liking us?
I mean,
Prove there's
that's
nothing
not
wrong with
liking
you.
us and hitting the like, but people are saying they love us, but they're not
Yeah.
hitting the like button.
But are they lying to us?
no, I don't
I
think they're
don't-
lying.
I don't think
they're
So
lying.
like it, guys. Prove us wrong. Let us know that you love it. Don't just tell us.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe.
Show
and
me.
leave a comment.
Show me.
Actions speak louder than words.
Come
Hello.
on now, baby.
Hello.
Come on now. You know, well,
Rocket.
how are you all doing? How's your week going?
Ooh, okay. All right. Deep
Come on.
exhale. Oh.
Come
Yeah,
on now.
I've been doing that all day today. I'm just tired.
Mm,
Tired. But yeah,
Really?
okay. It be like that sometimes, man.
Had an
The
early
ripping and the
morning.
running.
early morning and then just been at it all day. And so it's just tired. That's how I feel. I feel tired. I am ready for June to be here.
Wow. June?
Pause.
What's happening?
Pause.
Why
I'm not-
June?
Yeah. Okay, maybe May.
Pause.
Oh, that's when school ends. You're ready for summer break.
You get ready to be done with work.
Hello. And even when I'm done
Oh,
with work, I'm not done with work. But I guess
right.
the responsibilities are less or the demand is less.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just ready to break. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I just need some sun. I need some.
I think you need sun. Well, how's the weather over there? Is it like
warming up.
okay, good.
It's warming
Good.
up today. At one point, while I was in the office, it was 64 degrees outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Better than what it was before, but in the 17s and the stuff.
Hello,
Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah.
It was in the
Yeah.
70s over here today.
Yeah,
70s.
sure was. Yes, 75
70s,
degrees was the
girl.
high.
And
Come
why
on.
aren't you wearing a sweater?
Because it was freezing this morning. When I left the house this morning, it was like about
That's
a good
how it was.
45.
too. Yeah,
It was
that's how it
45
was.
degrees. But you can see my sweater is like it's really light. You can see all the holes in it. So I did that
Mhm.
intentional. So I was like, I'm wearing my sweater with my coat in the morning to stay
Yeah.
warm. Then that way, at least by midday, once it does warm up, like when I walked back to my car after work, I didn't have my coat on and just wearing this sweater. I didn't feel like overheated. And I didn't wear like usually I will layer up. I didn't have to do a whole bunch of layering. So I was able to, I was fine for the day.
Well, that's good.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Good, good, good. I had a sweater on. I'm wearing my sweater still. And it was like in the 30s this morning. Thought it was, I didn't look at the forecast. And middle of the day, I looked at the temperature, like 64.
Mm.
Mind you, I
Yeah.
still have the heater on in my office.
Hello, somebody.
You
I ain't
just
mad
never
at it.
know. You just never
You know,
know.
I like to stay warm.
Hello.
Facts. For real. For real.
Definitely.
So, okay. So what's going on? What's going on in the group chat? Is there anything popping
So
off?
I got something I want to share with y'all.
When do you not
Okay.
have something?
I know why. No, why you got
Margie
is
always
this
has
story?
something.
Is this story time with Marjorie? What's
That's
going
what
on?
okay,
Spotlight.
it's not
That's what we'll
quite
call it.
story time, and it's not quite in the group chat either. It's a
Okay.
show. It's a new show that I started watching, and this show is crazy. It's
Mhm.
Okay.
when I say crazy, I mean that in the absolute literal sense of the word crazy. It's
Okay.
called The Beauty,
The
and
beauty.
it has Ashton Kutcher, the actor, in it. And essentially, it is about the obsession of beauty and the extent of what some people are willing to do for it.
Mm.
So, hopefully, not giving away too much of it.
Is it like
Basically,
plastic surgery?
a little bit. So basically, this this group, this scientist, created like an injection to help people to become more beautiful.
Botox. Got you.
No, no.
Fillers.
So like
Fillers.
Botox is like it's an isolated thing. Like wherever you put the Botox is where it keeps you from like having wrinkles. This injection transform you completely. This
Oh.
show is a bit of a thriller.
Okay.
So quite there are some like, gruesome parts, but basically, people will get this injection. Once you receive the injection, you go through this transformation that is almost like otherworldly and essentially like the person completely their whole physicality changes. So
So
they
they
go through
look like a whole different person?
for the most part, yes. Like pretty much you look like a completely different person. You are like model-esque beauty. But you go through a transformation that almost look like you're a dinosaur going through
Are you
something.
metamorphosizing?
Yes, you like metamorph. Yes, yes, you metamorphosize.
How
Like
long that takes?
it's almost like a 24-hour period
Oh, so
from
you
the
just
time.
gotta stay home.
Correct. And then the thing is also your body begins to like overheat. Like people are having temperatures of like 118 plus. So you must be drinking. You must have a significant amount of water. We're talking about gallons of water. But here's the thing. The scientists who came up with this presented it to a group of investors, and the investors decided to get injected with this. So they're going through the process. They have them in a room. They go through the metamorphosis. One of the guys, the investors, kills the other investors and then goes to the main scientist and just like, yeah, I want it. So what ends up happening is now the one investor that killed everybody, he's now trying to be the forerunner of marketing this and making money off of it. And somehow in the lab, one of like the lab bees stole the the vial
vials.
or whatever, and now there's like this knockoff version that is being transmitted to people via sex. So it's like an STD.
Oh my God. What
So
kind of
now It's like
Hey,
an
I got that beauty,
STD.
girl. I got that beauty, man. I'm trying to get out that
No,
beauty.
seriously. It's so good. I can't. But the thing is, in the beginning, it is quite gruesome because it looks kind of like you look like you're possessed. You look like you're possessed.
You
Yeah.
possess. You
You're
look.
possessed.
You look possessed. You look possessed. You look possessed.
You look
You
possessed.
look possessed.
No, see, because like because I don't know, I don't understand what's going on. I'm seeing this metamorphosis take place, and that's why I do say it's a bit of a thriller because these people look like they're
Yeah.
possessed. They really
Okay.
do. But I
You say
have
it's
been
called Beauty?
it's called The Beauty.
The Beauty. All right. I'm gonna check
Yeah.
it out.
There were some scenes where I had to like look away. 'Cause I'm like, this is a little bit too much. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I ain't watching that.
But
I'm
it's
going to
good.
guard the
The
avenues of my eyes, the portals of my body. I'm not.
and I mean, and I understand, but the plot is really what has me captivated. So
Okay.
if you can withstand, if your heart can take it,
There
I
you go.
recommend definitely watching it.
Okay. Okay.
Not when I live in
Well
the house
then.
by myself. Nope.
Woo! Candy said, "No, ma'am."
No,
No,
ma'am.
no. Mm-mm. Nah, I feel you. I feel you. Okay. Well, today we're gonna. So, if you've been watching our podcast, you've heard little snippets of some stuff that's kind of we're gonna be talking about today. So, we as Haitians, growing up here, we grew up in a really religious family, in a religious home, and so today we're gonna talk about that. And so, um I'll give a little bit of the background, a little bit of it. Or do Candy or Margie, do y'all want to give the background of our religious experience?
Well, I can say that we are Adventists, Seventh day Adventists, Christians, uh,
Okay.
in Florida by Caribbean parents. So, and what that means is that the conservative sector of our beliefs is practiced within our cultural and religious expression um, is very conservative as far as Christianity or Seventh Day Adventism, and so therefore there were a lot of rules of what you can't do, right? What you should
Yeah.
do, what's right, what's appropriate. And so we did experience a lot of that. And for one example, if I would say, would be for us as girls about wearing pants. And so I know that I didn't own my first pair of jeans, long pants, until I was in high school. I probably was a sophomore.
Wild, and that was not my experience.
Granted, I am years older than Marjorie.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you led the way for me to have pants
I
in
led the
elementary
way.
school.
Trailblaze.
Well,
Trailblaze.
before you even talk, you go into that, Candy. I'll just say, so like Candy said, we 7 Day Adventists. We grew up 7 Day Adventists. Like, this is what we've been in our whole lives. For those who don't know, 7 Day Adventism, within the name, it's we recognize the 7 day Sabbath, where the 10 Commandments talk about the day of rest. So we recognize that we participate in a day of rest, which is on Saturdays. So on Saturdays we typically chill out. We don't work. We'll go to church and we pretty much hang out there all day, or come home and go out in nature, hang out with our families. And then within our name, Seventh Day Adventist, Advent simply signifies that we believe in the second coming of Jesus. We believe that Jesus is coming back for us, and so we're resting on the seventh day and waiting for this the second advent of Jesus. Now there is I would say, if I want to use the right word, Adventism, I don't want to say we're not a monolith, if that's the right word, where it's like you find some that are real conservative,
Yep.
you have some that are even really extreme.
There's like a spectrum to it.
Yeah, so there's a spectrum from being super, super extreme to being even super liberal, within it. And so so today we're going to talk about our experience from where we were to potentially to where we are now.
Mm.
And how do we see ourselves now. All right, so go ahead, Candy. You just wanted to give that background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with our beliefs, our parents grew up Adventists as well. Our mother, she was born, or her when she was born, both of her parents were Adventists. Our father, his family became Adventists probably when he was at the age of 5. And so we have a, I guess if you would say, generations, at least 3 generations on our dad's side of Adventists, those who are Adventists, my grandparents, um, my father, and then us.
Mm-hmm.
And on my mom's side, or our mom's side, it actually started with her grandmother, then her mother, herself, and then us. And now we have Eli as well. As far as, I don't know how many generations, some people would say, oh, I'm fourth generation, fifth generation Christian or Baptist or Adventist. And so we have some of that in our family as well. As far as our extended and immediate family, majority of us are Adventists and still are practicing Adventists. I say majority, I didn't say all, but majority of us. And so how we practice our faith is intertwined with our culture. And now being in America, that's where two cultures collide. And therefore, we may challenge some of the so called spiritual beliefs that we may recognize, the new generation may recognize that's very culture, that's not necessarily religious. And so there's a lot of conversations that we have, debates that happen from our parents, from other family members, with our cousins. Like, how do we still believe in this faith? We believe in this movement. However, the expression of it is not something that we can fully embrace when it intertwines of what we see as with culture. Now, the older generation may not, but I don't know if that helps a little bit.
No, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Um, and I think even to say not just simply with the culture, but also with time, how things change as well, right? Like some of
Mhm.
the views that our parents probably had when we were younger, they don't necessarily hold them, or it's not as strong for them now. Or even with just the example that we were giving, where Candy didn't have her first pair of jeans until she was in high school. In elementary school, I was wearing jean pants. I
Mhm.
I don't necessarily remember a time of like not wearing jean pants to school. Now, granted, to church is a different situation.
Right,
Yeah.
Um,
right.
I didn't wear jean pants to church until I was I think until I started going to an American church. Um,
Mm.
but yes, so just over time, how not only us, but also even our parents start to recognize how some things are not as quote unquote spiritual beliefs. Um, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. And so my first question for us, let me see, I wrote them down. Let me see which
Come
one do I
on,
want
write
to
it
go with.
down. Yeah, I like
Oh, listen,
that.
no, I'll
Come
definitely
on.
forget.
Yeah.
I'll
Mr.
definitely forget.
Prepared.
Yeah, organized.
Well, I think what are some of the things that we had growing up that you would say that you no longer or you probably relax on? Either you don't believe or you relax on.
Huh.
And I'll say for me, um, there's an aspect of jewelry. Um,
Yeah, I was about to say similar. Go
s-
ahead.
so growing up, so we in the real conservative Adventists, they don't believe in wearing jewelry, because they align it with modesty. Um,
And
But
some didn't align it with pagan worship.
yeah, with pagan worship and all of that. But for me, I don't. I think I would say I probably always struggled, like felt like it didn't make sense, and so I think it wasn't until I got to college, and when I was in college, I remember doing a paper on it. And when I really started, when I searched the scripture, searched the words, and started realizing like what we've held as something that was, to say that was forbidden biblically, that was biblically forbidden. I realized that that is not that's not true. At least for me. Now there's still some out there, even outside of the Haitian culture. Some, there's some super conservatives that will say that it is biblical that we are not to wear jewelry. But for me, that's not. I have no conviction on that, and I don't believe it. I personally don't believe it's biblical.
What I used to think about the idea of not wearing jewelry is that as conservative Adventists, we will determine which jewelry is okay and which one is not,
Yeah. Or
especially
what
from
or
the
what is
aspect,
jewelry? What is not considered jewelry?
especially from the aspect of modesty,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Well.
so you will have those who wear brooches.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
come
sorry.
on now.
That wear a brooch.
Uh-huh.
And that's okay.
Hmm.
You might wear a real shiny watch,
Real glistening now, bling
but it's
bling.
not it. But
Blame, baby.
and that's okay. And now you have groups that will wear a wedding band or a wedding ring, and that's okay. And so, but if you got your ears pierced, if you wear a necklace, you know, so I think it changes. As for me, it's based on what I'm comfortable with. I will wear a bracelet all day. I don't have any problems. I feel comfortable with wearing a bracelet. I'll wear a brooch. It to me, it's all jewelry. Now, will I put a hole in my ear? Once you get to know me, you know that I don't like needles. So
Yeah, she got a
not,
real problem. She got a real problem with needles.
I got a real problem with needles. So when I learned that, I had to no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Not because I feel some kind of way about it. Um, and I think when I was younger, I was like, I'm not impressed to put a hole in my body either. I don't want to alter my body. And that is also a spiritual perspective that some will have about putting altering the body that God gave you by putting holes in it or putting tattoos on it or and so forth. And so for me, that's what it was. But really, I don't want to do needles. People like it just won't hurt. Nah, can't do it. Would I wear a wedding band or a wedding ring? For me, that's not important. That I have it, that I wear it. I probably would wear it if like if I lived or was visiting a country that it was appropriate to wear it and it deemed me safe for my protection. And I've heard of people who have visited other countries where married women is sacred, regarded, and you wear a ring so that people won't disrespect you. But yeah, I'm gonna wear a ring. But now, would I wear a ring now? I have purchased rings, like costume rings. I just can't keep them on my hand. They're always coming off. I'm always in off. I don't know. I'm gonna lose it. If had something very expensive, I probably would lose it. Unlike a bracelet, you have to latch it on. It won't come off. Where a ring, I'm just so into my hands, it might come off. So definitely you would have different and even in my beliefs about jewelry has changed over the years. From when I was younger, I like, no, I'm not going to do it or what have you, but for me it's not that serious. I can live with or without.
Yeah. I think similar to Mark when I was younger, it to me, I have always liked
Mm,
I'm the type of girl, I like pretty things. I like pretty dresses. Even like my glasses. I have multiple glasses that I accessorize with and will wear and switch out for different times of the year. Like I'm just that type of girl. So for me, I've always also been fascinated with jewelry. Though knowing younger, like that wasn't an option, right? But granted, our parents will buy us nice watches where it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm a coordinate and accessorize with the watch.
Yeah,
Coordinate.
Coordinate,
Coordinate.
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 But also, yeah, to me, the whole aspect of like jewelry being this thing that's like an absolute no, to me, that never really made sense either. Um, but then of course not growing up with it, I don't think I was fascinated to the point where I really felt like I needed to challenge it either. It was just kind of like, okay, it
Mhm.
is what it is.
Mhm.
But then, growing older, making your own decisions and coming to a more of an understanding of like, yeah, nah, there's nothing salvific in it or whatever. And I don't believe Christ actually have an issue with it. There's Bible verses that talk about jewelry where, I think like in Proverbs or Psalm where God is like, wear this around your neck like a chain, or I will pierce your nose, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just kind of like, well, if Christ is okay with using those symbolic metaphors when it comes to jewelry, look at Candy. She already like, I
Come on,
can't.
pierce my nose. Lord, no. Pierce my
Yeah,
heart, not my nose.
and for me, I just feel like I do not believe it's an issue. So,
Mhm.
and I mean, I think similar to Candy, like I'm not really, I am not so fascinated to the point where I want to pierce anything. At least right now. I can't speak for the future. Hey, I might change. You might see me with something. But as of right now, I'm not that
Yeah.
fascinated or intrigued where I'm just like, I really want to pierce my ears or do something like that. That's not my current stance. But also, I don't think it's an issue if somebody else does it. I know some people be like, well, you know better. You know you shouldn't. And I'm just like, do you think Christ is going to keep somebody out of heaven for that? If the answer is no, then it's a non issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 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 No, I agree. I agree. I think for me, it's one of those things that once I realized it and I did the research for myself, I think that's where I was like, some people want to major in the minors, and I think a lot of it now I do believe in modesty. I do
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
do believe in modesty, but I think modesty varies for the person. You know,
Mm.
I don't think you can paint with a broader brush what's modest for one person versus modest for another person. Now, I do believe that there's um decorum for settings that you're in.
Absolutely.
Dress
You
code.
know, just as that, we say, work if you to wear something business casual or to wear something, professional or casual. Like I do believe that those are there's settings for different types of how we dress and how we present ourselves. But I think now that it's even within that, the aspect of modesty, I think that varies on a person. You know, what's modest for me, and how I dress and in my pocketbook range and all that, might be different for somebody who makes 8 times more than I do. Like if I'm riding around in what might be modest for me might be, riding around in a Camry, but somebody who's making 8 times more than me, they like, what modest for them might be riding around in an S-Class Mercedes when they could be riding around in a
Ooh,
in a
the S class.
Lamborghini.
Come on, S class.
Like, okay, I could be spending $5 million. I could be spending $2 million on a car, riding around in a $2 million car. Instead of riding a $2 million car, I ride around in a $200,000 car. So I think those are like it's you can't you can't get you can't be checking nobody's pockets and you don't know nobody's heart. And so I think a lot of times I feel like people try to use these things to control and to try to uniform everybody to make everybody look the same and act the same and on. And I'm like, nah, I'm not with that.
Right. And I
You
do
know?
like the point that you're making in regards to modesty and how there is room for variety, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not just this one thing and we all have to meet that one thing. Um but definitely, I think if we as Christians are intentional about what is modest, what I think wherever you may fall, I think you'll be doing right by Christ as long as you're keeping that. Because there's some people who really and truly they just have this thing of wanting to go against modesty,
Yeah.
because they do feel like, maybe because of their experience, they feel like it's something that's being forced upon them, which is, unfortunate. Um, but if you are doing it in a way where it's kind of like, I want to be a reflection of Christ. And let me figure that, because what's, like you said, what's modest for me may not be modest for you. I know some things I might wear. Some people might be like, this ain't modest at all. And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
very modest. Um, so I think as long as we're keeping Christ at the forefront, um, you should be fine. As long as you're not doing anything spiteful. I think
Yeah.
sometimes people, they're like, well, I'm gonna do this because I know y'all don't like it, so I'm still do it.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
like your mindset is already wrong. You're already coming at it from the wrong perspective. But if you are just literally just thinking about yourself, thinking about Christ, He will guide you to what is best.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys would say that, like, belief system that you had from um growing up that you're an adult, that you're more mature, in your faith and all that, that you may say, you know what, I probably would lean into that before, but now, you know, I view it differently.
I don't know if it's that I view it different, I may practice different, would
Okay.
be, observing of the Sabbath, the things that I'm willing to do, and when I was younger, maybe it was like, "No, don't do this, don't do that," or more so, "This is all you can do." It wasn't necessarily what you shouldn't do, it's more so, these are all things that you can only do. Whereas now I go hiking. Will I go to the beach on the Sabbath? Yes, I will. You know, will I, do certain things? I will. My understanding of observing and celebrating the Sabbath is different, or it has expanded from since when I was younger. And so I would say maybe that I can't think of too many other things that are different that is pivotal that I decide, no, I'm not going to do that, uh, outside of modesty and probably my expression or how I observe the Sabbath, the things I'm more willing to do on the Sabbath that my parents probably weren't willing to do. But when now that I do them now, they're like, oh, yeah,
Like this
sure.
isn't that bad.
That's not bad.
I agree. Yeah. You
Question.
know, okay, go ahead.
With that being said, I know I've been guilty of this, and sometimes you guys don't like when I do it. When I have conversation with our parents about certain beliefs and thoughts, more so for, I say, for conversation piece versus just to debate with them. And so
That's what it be
I
feeling like to me. It be feeling like you trying to pick a fight. It feels like you trying
I'm not trying
to
to
get
I'm not
something started. That's what it feels like to me. I'm like, oh, okay, where can he come from with this? She know this about to be a whatever. She know this
but
is
I
about
do
to
this
be
with
this
my
discussion.
parents because I know my parents. I pray that I'm not causing them to sin. I'm not doing the act of what they are displeased with. However, having a conversation about what is salvific, what's appropriate, inappropriate, not that I'm doing it, maybe someone else is doing it. Is it okay? Is it appropriate? Just starting to have those conversations with our parents. Sometimes I do it. I sometimes think I'm in a safe space to do it. I've seen it where they would come back with Bible, 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 Bible. It's in the Bible, but no text, right? No reference. And so, like, challenging them to, hey, take it to the Bible. Give
You
me
and you
references.
enjoy challenging.
But it's not like I'm not doing what you're saying, like I'm upset, I'm rebelling, right? I don't think that's not what I'm doing.
I do not believe you do it with the energy of like spitefulness. You don't do it
Right.
with the energy
I
of
do not.
rebellion. You
No.
don't do it with the energy of like, I'm trying to prove this to you and show. But I feel like you do it with a little bit of an energy of like, let me challenge your thinking and let
I
me
do.
see and let me, I won't like.
I
I
mean,
feel
I
like you
think what
do it
Candy
with
does,
like a let me try to get something out of it. And I'm just like, oh, here we go.
I
But I
think, I
think
think,
what I've
but I
done
think it's
it
because we know it's going to be the drama, the we know where their stance is, and we know the drama that is going, the theatrics that it's going to cause,
Theatrics is a very good word.
the theatrics that it's going to cause. And Margie is very like, I do not want to be here. Like, why are we
Listen, I
starting
gotta
it?
regulate my nervous system, okay?
whereas for
Make
me, I want it.
sure.
I want it
Okay. Candy
you
want
know,
all the smoke. Candy wants all of the smoke.
because
and,
what I
I
and
feel
I'm
have
like
usually good
and
for
the
it
thing is,
too.
but what I have
like,
seen,
and that's where the difference is between the three of us. Like, the two of you all are better at getting or handling or engaging with the smoke where it doesn't necessarily impact you personally. Whereas for me,
Yeah.
usually by the time I'm like, I want the smoke because it is personal. And this is,
Mhm.
like, now I got this energy. Yeah, I want the smoke. And
Cause you mad now.
I'm mad now. Exactly. I am now mad. Whereas
Mhm.
you all is kind of like, nah, but we want the smoke, but we're not necessarily mad. We just trying to, well, Mark a little bit. Mark be getting a little,
He does.
I
yeah.
get hot.
Just like
I don't
Mark,
ever
Mark,
get
Mark.
mad. I
It
don't
Your
gets
get
energy
mad.
be mad.
Mark
Your
voice be
energy.
cracking. When he's personal, his
Not
voice
not
start
cracking,
cracking.
but it be escalating. It
It
be like,
does.
it be
My
like, oh,
voice,
whoa,
I just
bring
get
it down.
passionate. I just get passionate. That's all it
You get
is. I'm just
very passionate. You
okay.
get very
And I
passionate.
think the reason why I do it is because I have seen where, based on conversation that we would have, and their idea, their thought have shifted, have changed, and said, this is okay, okay, okay. I hear what you're saying. You're absolutely right about this or that. Or they may not even say it, right? I remember one time, I think I was with Marjorie, or maybe I told Marjorie about this. I I think mom and dad were going to the restaurant for their anniversary, and I drove dad's car, and dad was on the phone with some other people, of his, I was going to say of his kind, of his culture. And the things that I heard him say on the phone were things that I used to say to him, as far as judging other people or whatever, certain
Not you
cultures,
having an
certain
influence.
girl,
Mm,
and mom
mm.
and dad, but because I was driving them, so it was both of them, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see." Because those who come from the island of Haiti more recently are probably a little bit more conservative than those who've been in the country for over 40 plus years, right?
Yeah.
And so I think our parents have evolved, Americanized by being exposed to other expressions of Adventism, and they
And
are,
being exposed to the challenging conversation that their firstborn has given them. Yeah.
because I also have been exposed to different worship styles, different expressions of thought and worship. So it's just been different for me, and I've seen things that are different that I will bring back home, and I'll say, "Yeah, this is how this is, and this and this and this," and they're like, "What?" I said, "Yes." Can you imagine? And so we would have those conversations, and I think
Candy
they're
always want to be
learning.
somebody teacher. Boy, let me tell
I
you.
know
Candy said, let me
what.
learn y'all something. Let me learn you something.
Mm.
But
Go ahead, Big
it's
Dada.
not learning something, it's having dialogue and getting understanding. Y'all just don't like to talk to them. I like talking to them because I learned some stuff about them.
I don't mind talking with them. It's just that when it gets to that point, like with our dynamic, our family dynamic, you know what I'm saying? We can get a little, you know what I'm saying? And I don't always have the energy for that. I just
You're right.
don't. I really don't. And like I was saying earlier, I think you and Mark have more of a disposition of having those type of intense conversations where you all do not necessarily allow it to become too personal for you, but still be able to have that level of intentionality and directness and etc. Whereas for me, with those type of challenging conversations, sometimes depending, especially when it's like our parents, sometimes it's kind of like by the time I get to wanting the now I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset, and this is how, you know what I'm saying. And I don't necessarily always want to be in that position or in that place um when trying to have those conversations and come to a place of like understanding and sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so my last question for us is, how are you living in alignment with your core beliefs?
Hmm.
This is a deep question. What do you mean?
Yeah, this is
So
that's
okay,
one of
so
those, that's a question you should have gave us before so we can prepare for it. Like
I know. How am I
so
living in
the other
alignment with my
the
core
other questions
beliefs?
were good. This one I feel like I need a little bit more, reflection.
let me start then. I'll start with my
Yeah, because
answer.
you came up with the question, so you were able to reflect a little
You
bit,
thought
huh?
about it.
Yeah, you were able
I
to
got,
reflect.
I didn't I got the question not too long before we hopped on here, so I didn't know like I had all week thinking about the question. So for
Okay.
me, my core belief system, and I think I have thought about this question in general, throughout, I want to say like probably the past couple of years. And for me, I believe my core belief is keeping the main thing the main thing. And I believe, and so for me, the main thing spiritually is love God and love others. And I think that's my core. That like, if I had to say like, what's my mantra for how I'm moving, is I'm trying to love God, do all I can to love God and to love others. Because then in the principle in the Jesus talks about, when he goes over and when they talk about like, whoa, what is the greatest commandment of in there? And then he says like, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and then he says, love your neighbor as yourself. On these two things hang the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments hang on this. So I'm like, if I'm loving God and I'm loving my neighbor, everything else I think falls in place. So for me, that's my core. That's how I've been choosing to live my life. It's just to love God and to love others. There's something that I believe ourselves, like within our denom, that is like that I think they tried to make as salvific, that I don't agree with, that I don't believe is salvific. And I believe some things are just like, this is something good to live by. I don't believe it's salvific, but I do believe it's something that is a good principle. And so I rocks with it, and there's some things that I'm like, you know, that I don't with, but everything to me boils down to, am I loving God? Do I love God? Am I loving Jesus? Am I doing all I can to do that? And am I loving my neighbor? Am I loving others? You
Okay.
know.
Good. Good. Candy.
Mhm. Ditto. Why I gotta repeat the whole thing? Yep, ditto. That's it. I like that. I'm taking it copy paste.
Copy and paste.
You could take
I
it.
Yeah. I
Uh
mean, to an extent too, also my core values. I agree with a lot of what Mark said. Because I also believe in a lot of, well, I guess it all ties in together when I think of service to men and how I love my fellow man. There's some things that I don't feel like I need to preach a sermon versus live my life to be a sermon. And so there's some people who are like, "Oh, let me walk around with a 'Can I pray for you?' but type of button." I'm not gonna do that, right? And so I might be more so, I'm gonna help you. I might not know the right words. What can I do to help you? And show love to you. So that still ties in with the idea of love man as you love yourself. So that's the only thing I can think of or add as far as core values, um, is how I treat man and how I love God.
What was the question again, Mark?
How are you living in alignment with your core beliefs?
I think for me, I just wanted to make sure, or I had you reiterate it to make sure I was answering the question correctly. I think for me, when you said that, the first thing that came to mind was true religion. But
The
I think
clothing brand?
no, no,
She's gonna be a fashion designer.
Mhm.
no. Because in the okay, so it goes with the thought of how oftentimes when Christians are talking about like the very thing that we're talking about, right? We were raised one way to think one way, and then when we got older and
Yeah.
read the word for ourselves, we come to an understanding of like, oh, this is actually what this is saying, or et cetera, et cetera. And one thing is that I don't really like is when people say like, I'm doing away with my religion. I'm doing away with my religion. Religion, it's me and God. And I'm just like, biblically speaking, it's not about doing away with religion. It's about true religion. Because the way we envision religion now is kind of like what we were talking about, uh, um, 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 traditions and certain ideas that aren't necessarily biblical. Whereas in the Bible, more than once it says true religion is taking care of the widows and the orphans. This is what true religion is. So even more than just true religion, but like a true understanding of the Bible, a true understanding of who God is, which I think is something that I'm really just trying to get to. I think I also came to a place where I'm just like, even just out of the thing that we were told to do or not to do, growing up as a kid, it's like, just follow God and everything is going to be all right. And it's kind of like, actually, no. The Bible said you're going to suffer as a follower
Yeah.
of Christ.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like really just having this true and authentic understanding of all that comes with being a Christian. I call it it's not a fairy tale religion. This bubble gum, unicorns, and rainbow religion that we were taught growing up, where if you
Mhm.
follow Christ, everything will be all right. When in actuality, no, everything won't necessarily be all right. But the thing is, with Christ, He will be able to help you to get through them.
Yeah.
And of course, growing closer to Christ and having Christ's wisdom could potentially help you to avoid some things. But just having a truer understanding of all things of being a Christian and who God is.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. I think there's a big thing I think with people, and I think I'm probably in it a little bit, where people are doing what they call like deconstructing,
Mm-hmm.
deconstructing their faith and deconstructing stuff, and I think it's cool. I think everyone should do it, at a certain
You're
point. I think,
supposed to do that. You're supposed to ask questions. You are supposed to
yeah,
question.
ask her
I don't like when
questions.
I think for
Um,
me, and not to interrupt you, Mark, but I think I'm not a fan of people doing things spitefully, but
yeah,
I am a fan of you having a genuine question or a genuine concern. Like, I'm
yeah,
dealing with this, or I've been taught this, and it doesn't make sense. It's not aligning.
yeah,
What's the real? That we should be doing that constantly as Christians.
And what if you don't get the answer? You don't get the real. That's where I think you might find a lot of people who are I guess what you would say. What was that you said?
Spiteful.
I'm getting rid of my
Oh, I'm getting
religion,
rid of my religion.
right?
Yeah.
But
People
I
haven't
think,
received those answers.
And
and
listen, and for me, I think I'm okay with people doing away with things for the time. If you're like, if it's not out of spite, but like if you're in true search and you're looking for something and something is not making sense, and you're like, this thing is not making sense. For me, I think God is okay with that. Like if something like I'm not going to just do something out of going through the motions,
yeah,
like I don't under like I'm like this don't make sense to me. And you're praying to God and you're asking God and there's no conviction and God is like for me, I'm like, you know what? If you feel like your heart is telling you to chill out for a while, you might have to chill out on that for a while,
absolutely.
as you're continuing to grow. And I think one of the things that I believe in is that I feel like regardless of where you are in your faith walk, if you're truly searching after God, I believe everything will fall in place.
I agree 100%. I think sometimes we see people, um, taking a route in their spiritual journey. They still consider themselves to be a Christian or a follower of Christ, but their route looks different. I
Yeah.
think as long as you're not doing thing with malice, intention, or spiteful energy. Well,
Yeah.
hey, sometimes people who go through church hurt, they have a little bit of spitefulness in them. But as long as you're keeping Christ at the core, you're truly trying to seek Christ in all of your understanding. I believe that Christ will always guide you back to Him. He will guide you to the
Yeah.
path that He intended for you. As long as you're doing it with that energy at the core, I
Yeah.
think you'll be fine. But if you're doing it with all that extra, malice and spitefulness, you're already coming at it at the wrong place. So, like when I say doing away with religion, in seeking Christ and in seeking truth, you will understand it's not a matter of doing away with religion. It's actually about finding what true religion is.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I agree. And I think in the New Testament, that's one of the things that you will find that Paul and then we'll talk about is, not getting hooked up, not getting connect, following certain things that are not necessarily, that can essentially pull you away from Christ. But there's certain things that it's like, what, you may not need to do that right now. You may not need to
Yeah.
be doing some of these things. Some of these things, that's it's not meant for this isn't meant for you.
Right.
And
Or
that's
just
okay.
being just so like, like for example, like within our denomination, there's some, we promote a plant-based diet, right? We
Yeah,
don't say that this is what you have to do, but we do promote a plant-based diet. We believe that was the original diet. And some people within our denomination believe like if you eat meat, you ain't getting into heaven.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if
Foolishness.
you eat meat, hey, you know, good luck to you. And if we are in a setting where like, okay, we're gonna have food, or I'm inviting this person to my home, and I notice what they're, it's not that deep where you need to be like, you know what, they come into my house, it's my house, we gonna have meat or whatever. If you know that this will cause such a issue, even with that person coming to your home, it's not that deep. Just don't have meat that night.
Yeah,
Like
it's not.
some,
Yeah,
like how you said, Mark, sometimes we really do major in the minor, even on the flip side.
yeah. No,
Sometimes
you're right.
we have a new and clearer understanding of things, but then there are some people who still don't. And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna, for me, and y'all know me, sometimes the argument ain't worth it. I'm not going back and forth with you for what? So
yeah,
no, I'm not. And I think sometimes we as Christians, we need to do that. Going back
yeah,
and forth with you. I mean, when needed, make your point, make your stance, but also we can put energy into better things.
Well
I
said.
agree. I agree. I agree. Well said. Well, guys, this has been an amazing conversation, a great conversation. To wrap it all up, we've all grown in our faith. It may not look exactly how it was when we started, as it was when we were kids. And, there's things that we're probably doing now that are a little bit different, but we're all still pushing towards the same end goal and the aim and the same mark,
That's
So,
right.
yeah. So with that said, remember, guys, like, subscribe, comment, let us know where you are in your spiritual journey, regardless of denomination or whatnot.
And you know
Regard
what? And if you don't necessarily have a full explanation or comment, if you on this journey of growing closer to Christ, just put faith walk in the comment.
there you go, right?
Put
Faith
faith,
walk, faith walk.
Faith
Well,
put
walk.
faith walk
come
in the
on now,
comment.
man.
That's right.
I'm walking in faith. So type in faith walk. So type that, like, subscribe, guys. We're continuing to try to do new and different things. So
And if you are enjoying this and you think there is someone else who would enjoy this as well,
hit the share. Hit the share.
share.
Don't be
Don't keep it to
don't
yourself.
be stingy.
Why you gonna
Don't
keep it
be
to
stingy.
Absolutely.
yourself? Hit
Tell
that share
somebody.
button. Okay.
And with that being said, we grow together.
We laugh together.
Always one get it.
Peace. Stay
Bye.
wet.
Dead wet.
This.